Greetings, beautiful people. I'm Natalie Kent from Sacred Business, and this is the beautiful Alice Springs in Central Australia. Yes, I'm in the desert, and yes, I may be a little bit crazy doing this video. Outside, it's about 35 degrees right now, which is about almost 110 Fahrenheit. So we'll see how I go. I've got my wet scarf here. So I should be all good. Say hello if you're joining live. Today I'm talking about my top 10 business lessons from 2018, and I want to hear yours too. So maybe when I'm speaking today, you might get some thoughts or ideas or memories from last year about little pearls of wisdom that you learned along the way that you want to share with everyone else. So please do share your comments, share away, and I'll be reading them out so that other people can learn from them too. Now, I'm going to start with number 1, taking bold actions. Now, this was big for me in the last year. I took some, kind of crazy, risky, creative leaps, if you like, with launching new offerings, trying lots of new things at once. You know, not always necessarily the wisest business advice to do that. Do so much testing of the market, so many new offerings at once. But I got to say, it really paid off. There were some side effects, which I'm going to talk about later with the rest of the top 10. But I must say that number 1, the bold actions really refined my market, my tribe, putting out new offerings to see how they'd fly, not really having a clue how they'd fly because they were firsts, were really quite strengthening and consolidating of my value proposition, of the business identity, the purpose of Sacred Business. People really connected with that in a new way because there were multiple offerings that reinforced that, not just one or two. Aloha! Hello! Who we got here? Who's joining us live today? I got to switch screens to have a look. God, where have you gone? There we go. So if you're joining live just now, make sure you share your pearls of wisdom too. I'm going to read them out for everyone else to hear. This is a collaboration. It's not just my learnings. We want to hear yours too. Priscilla and Helen, hello, darlings. Glad you're joining live. So who else is here live? Say hello. So yes, bold actions. Highly recommend it if you feel the creative urge to just put something out there. Go with it. Just take the leap. See what happens. Even if it doesn't fly, you still will learn heaps in the process. So, number 1, bold action. Number 2, feedback on those bold actions. Very, very important. This is something I learned so much this year. So grateful for this one. So because I put so many offerings out there, new things that I hadn't tested before, I didn't know how they'd go with people. I asked for a lot of feedback. And I got to say, because I was, launching new stuff and I had a lot going in my personal life as well, a lot of instability in my personal life. So I was on a bit of shaky ground, taking some of these leaps. And if it had been left up to my own mind to tell me how those events, how those offerings really went with people, how they were received, how they experienced them, my own measure would have been a lot less than the feedback I actually received. So this is an interesting spin on feedback, right? Normally we're told to make sure we get feedback so we can keep continuing improving our offerings, making them better, asking for constructive criticism. But for me, what I really needed to hear the positive feedback, that it was actually good and that people loved it and that they wanted more. If I hadn't asked, I really wouldn't have felt so confident in what I was doing. So thank you to those beautiful ones who did give me that positive feedback. Oh, I'm getting all emotional now because you really helped me to keep going and to believe in myself. So thank you. Who else is here? Marin's here. Hello, darling, and Jody. Hi. Woohoo! We got a little tribe happening. So yes, sometimes the thing about feedback is that you need the positive feedback to keep going, to believe in yourself, to keep offering what you're offering, for people to tell you, yeah, it's good, I want it, I want more. So that happened multiple times for me this year. Really, really valuable. Just ask. Okay, next one, number 3, onboarding. Oh, what's that mean? Onboarding for newbies. Now, there are many of you, and most of you are listening today, veterans of sacred business. My very faithful ones who've been along the way with me with sacred business pretty much since the beginning. So 4.5 years now, would you believe, since it started. And you guys know all the fundamentals, but there's plenty of newbies out there who don't. And I kind of neglected them a little bit last year. I was aware of it at the time, but I didn't have the bandwidth to, set up an onboarding process for people who know nothing about sacred business to come on board, to learn the fundamentals, so they can get oriented and go, what is this whole new model, this new paradigm of business actually about? Because there's a lot of different facets, and those of you who have been around for a while know this. But you only know through your longevity and your commitment to this new way. So don't neglect the newbies is my is my next one. All right, are we getting any ideas? Any sparks of how you want to pass on your pearls of wisdom from last year and from your business, your experience? Next, energy work. Whoa, did this hit home this year? The power and the necessity of doing daily energy work personally, but as a foundation for your soul work. And when I say energy work, I'm talking about this essentially energy clearing of your energetic field. So you are a clear vessel for whatever you're creating and for however you're relating and interacting with others, that you're not relating from projection or from someone else's energy that's come into your field. Now, this is going to become more and more of a feature in the age of Aquarius, where we're going to have to become more masterful of our energy fields and how we are actually working with our own energy. So really, really important. Daily clearing practices, rituals, morning and night if you can. It only takes 10-20 minutes a day, but really, if you're not doing this, then you don't really know where you're coming from when you're interacting with the world. And you're certainly not opening up and clearing the space in your field for your soul's work to fully come through. Perhaps you've got other people or other situations taking up that space. Clear it out. It's not yours. Very important. Can you see me? Because I'm looking dark because now I have a halo. Don't know how that's going to go. But anyway, we'll keep going. All right. Next. Number 5. Gatherings of the tribe cyclically. Now, this is really, really important. And this is something that I had been planning for some time. It started with the Natural Creator Immersions. I knew that needed to be a cyclical event so that the natural creators could come together in the flesh once a season, eventually, and that would serve as a foundation for the entire year. So my intention with those immersions is to make them accessible for people to come every time as a means of connecting in with the energy and anchoring together. That is so supportive. So supportive when we do that as a tribe, and having these in the flesh experiences for a reasonable amount of time, not just for an hour or two, but for a reasonable amount of time. It even worked online at the virtual immersion last week. Very, very powerful. It was 4 hours, but that was the longest time we'd spent together online. Whoa, that was super powerful because we could go in deeper. So, and you can certainly go in deeper if it's a residential experience. So, highly recommend this. Cyclical gatherings of the tribe in the flesh if you can. Make it something that people can put in their diaries and depend on. Yes, I know this is coming. And it's going to happen every cycle, whether it's a monthly or seasonal, annual, whatever the cycle is. All right, how's this jogging your memory of your own pearls of wisdom? Is this valuable to you? Let me know. Okay. Next. The power of the ecosystem. Whoa! Knowing who is in your ecosystem is incredibly important. What does that mean? Well, your ecosystem is with beings, with people who are like you, who share a similar value system, who walk on the same landscape, territory as you, metaphorically. That's what your value system is. So when you find those people who resonate in that same frequency, they're keepers, man. Hold on to them. I don't mean control them. I mean hold on to them, value them, cherish them, nurture those relationships. They are part of your ecosystem, and that is going to be so important in the coming years ahead, is to know who's in your ecosystem and to expand your ecosystem. That's another concept I'll be talking a lot more about this year. What is an ecosystem in business? What does that mean? So if you're not really sure, just stay tuned, because that could take up a whole call today. So let's keep going. All right, you've gone quiet. Are you hearing me? Let me know. Okay, stability is the next one. The importance of stability. Whoa! So I didn't have much stability in my personal life or my business, well, in terms of a location to work from last year. I was moving a lot. I was on a lot of planes, and that was necessary to create some of the stuff that I was talking about earlier. However, that was one of the side effects. So when I was creating from a place of, so much flux in my own life, the side effect was that I actually ran out of reserves, personal energy reserves. So I didn't have anything to prop me up. So, come the end of the year, I really noticed that, wow, I created all this stuff, but because I didn't have a solid base to work from, and I was on the move a lot, which took up a lot of my energy, I had to draw on my reserves. So very, very important. Creativity and stability, having a base, having a solid place to do your creative work from is paramount. It's not something you're going to have all the time, but certainly something not to be underestimated. Having that foundation really allows you to go further with your soul work because you are supported with that foundation. All right. No more comments coming through. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it's all good. Okay. Next, support. Knowing the kind of support that you actually need. Wow. This was really hit home for me this year, is I know I need support, but I don't know what kind of support I need. So this coming year, I'm going to figure that out. This is the year of finding out the support I need, the team that I need in my work, so that I can stay in my lane, my zone of genius, and really thrive in that, rather than trying to do everything myself, which I've been doing for 4.5 years now. And that's been a wonderful foundation because I know how I want the business set up. I know how it works. So that was essential in getting me to understand how I wanted to set up Sacred Business differently to perhaps what I've been told, or perhaps, what other people are doing. What is actually going to work in this new paradigm for Sacred Business? So now I know this, I can ask for the support that I need. So this was a balance of knowing what the business needs and knowing what I personally need as support. So all the comments are coming through now. Listening intently. Well, that's good, Jode. I'm glad I've got you listening. So please, if any pearls of wisdom of your own are coming through, share them in the comments. Okay. Oh, here we go. The juicy one. Understanding your disaster state. I really got acquainted with the disaster state of the tree in 2018. So for those of you who don't know what that means, I'm referring to the creator types, the 12 nature states that exist in our bodies. And there's 2 that are primary for you. So my primary creator types are lava and tree. So I was already quite familiar with the disaster state of lava from previous years, so I feel like I really have harnessed that. I know the signs, I know them well, and I know how to correct them, get back on track. But tree, wow, I was really hit with that. And so that you're aware, if there are any fellow trees out there or people who know trees, the disaster state of the tree is supporting too many people with the branches, with our branches, with insufficient strength and energy and support in our own trunks, taking on more than we can handle, worrying about too many other people, essentially being a martyr. So my martyr complex, my martyr program, really came to the fore in 2018. How many people was I investing energy in looking after them, supporting them, having them nest in my tree, but I actually wasn't looking after myself to be able to do that with so many people in the way that I was doing it. So, gosh, that was actually part of what depleted my resources last year, was not just being so creative in my work, but in my personal life, really seeing who was nesting in my tree, where I couldn't keep going. So very, very important. Understand your disaster state. Again, we could talk heaps about that, but we'll keep pushing on because we're nearly there. There's one to go. All right. The last one is new models, new ways of doing business. Now, you've probably heard that we're moving into the age of Aquarius because I keep banging on about it. And part of what goes with that is that the business models that were successful in the past are no longer going to be successful in the future. It doesn't mean there aren't pearls of wisdom from the past and things we can extract from those models, but those models to look back on and go, well, what worked then? I'll do that now. Yes, so the new models of doing business, to not expect that the old ways will work anymore. So that means that a lot of the strategies and models that we've learned in the past about what works in business, we've actually got to devise new ways of bringing the money in and distributing that money. Age of Aquarius is trying to teach us this. So we must learn new ways of doing things, open up our minds and our hearts to a whole new operating system when it comes to doing business. So this is something that has to come through you as well as learning from others. There is not something already written about what successful model to follow. It actually requires a lot of courage and experimentation and listening to those higher frequencies that are guiding us, showing us what this new way looks like. So be bold in this as well. Be bold in how you're making money, not just your products and services themselves. So how are you bringing in the money? How are you distributing the money that comes in? How are you working with other people who are perhaps also part of your business? How are you paying them? All of that is up for questioning. So that's just kind of an open question now. Hey, Karen. So this is really, really important. Stop looking back. Oh, what did those old successful business people do? Because that's all dying. It's dying rapidly. So glean what you can from those old ways and create your own way in the new energy. And the new energy is really defined by unity, tribe, coming together. You know, there's a whole movement called basic level income that's sweeping the planet so that every person alive has a basic level of income, whether they work or not. You know, that was spawned from the consciousness of unity, of why don't we all have the basic means to live well? Why is it only concentrated in the wealthy hands of a few? That doesn't make any sense in Age of Aquarius, because we're looking at each other as equals now. So remember this. Remember how you know how to do this. We're all remembering what unity really is. So, oh, Jodie's here. Hello, Jodie, too. So, yes, I'm just finishing up now because I missed my number 10 in the previous video when my computer's settled down now. I've put her in the shade, so she should come back to life. There you go. That's the perils of doing business outdoors in the desert is you fry your electricals. So I thought I would be the one who was fried, but I was wrong. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in today. And I will be back very soon because I have an exciting new workshop coming up this month on your natural creator plan. So this is the plan you use. It's a one-page plan that you use for the coming year ahead that is based on your nature, your creator constitution, your birth astrology, and your seasons, depending on where you live geographically. All of that goes into this. So that's coming. I will be sharing more on that soon. And the good news is, hang on, I will show you. Oh, hello, Mr. Pigeon. Is you get to colour in. This is a little preview anyway. So I've been doing some experimenting with it. So there's lots of different ways of filling this out, but that's what the workshop is. I'll be actually showing you how to interpret it for your nature and how to devise some very basic business strategies or how you function in your business for the year ahead. So stay tuned for that one. And oh, what date? The dates will be 30th and 31st of January. Hey, Lisa. So there'll be a morning session and an evening session. So just keep that in mind. The dates will be published in the next few days, and I will see some of you then. But for now, feel free to share your business pearls in this thread, because if there's enough of them, I might do another video and share them. So we all have wisdom that we've learned from 2018, and it's always better if you share it, because not only does it consolidate the learnings in yourself and share with your tribe, you make way for new learnings. When you can say to the universe, yes, I got this, I got the message, you make space. So if you haven't done your evaluation yet for 2018, I do mine at this time every year. I use the Sacred Business Evaluation, and there's a set of criteria I use every year. It's based on the business growth cycle, the 4 stages. And that way I can track and look at last year, how do I fare to last year? And that's where I extract all of these lessons from. So it's not just willy-nilly going, oh, what did I learn this year? Well, some of them are because they're really obvious. But they actually come from me evaluating my performance against this criteria. And it's not typical criteria, trust me. It's not businessy criteria and KPIs. No, it's not like that. If you haven't checked it out, I did send out a link to anyone who came to the immersion last week. If you would like that link, please PM me and I'll send it to you. All right, that's it for now. Hi, Alex. Nice to see you here. And I will see you next time. Lots of love for now. Bye.